It all started when I decided to find myself. Now, I didn't know where I had last seen myself, but I was pretty sure it wasn't at my job staring at spreadsheets named Final, Real Final 3.xlsx. So I booked a trip. Destination? Honestly, I thought it said nowhere. Turns out it was a real place. Or at least, that's what the website looked like it said. When I landed, the airport sign read something completely different. It had letters, yes, but arranged in a way that made my brain file a formal complaint. Welcome to Nu Wara. Eh? I sounded it out. The airport worker smiled. Welcome. Thank you, I said confidently, as if I had any idea where I was. First challenge, getting a taxi. I approached a driver and showed him my hotel address. He squinted at it, then at me, then back at the paper. You want Goat Market? No, I said. Hotel. He nodded. Yes, Goat Hotel. That's not a thing, I said. 10 minutes later, I was in a car, surrounded by goats. One of them stared at me like it knew I had made poor life choices. Is this part of the experience? I asked. The driver gave me a thumbs up. I decided not to argue. Eventually, I arrived at what looked like a building. That's the nicest thing I can say about it. It had walls and a door, and honestly, that was enough at this point. Inside, I tried to check in. Reservation? The receptionist asked. Yes, I said, handing over my confirmation. She looked at it, frowned, and said something I did not understand. Sorry? I asked. She repeated it. Louder. Because clearly volume translates languages. I panicked and did the only logical thing. I nodded. She handed me a key. Great. I had no idea what I just agreed to. The room was interesting. There was a bed. Good. There was also a chicken. Hey, I said. The chicken said nothing, but its silence felt judgmental. I named it Gregory. The next day, I decided to explore the city, or whatever this place was. I went to a restaurant and pointed at something on the menu. Ah, the waiter said, impressed. Good choice. 5 minutes later, I was staring at a plate of something that looked like it had a backstory. What is this? I asked. He smiled. Yes. I took a bite. It tasted like confusion, with a hint of regret. Later, I tried asking for directions back to my hotel. I used hand gestures, dramatic expressions, and what I believe was interpretive dance. The man I asked nodded thoughtfully and pointed, somewhere. I followed his direction. 2 hours later, I was in what I can only describe as a wedding. I don't know whose wedding. I don't know how I got there. But at some point, someone handed me cake, and honestly, I felt too committed to leave. A woman grabbed my arm. Dance. I don't think I'm supposed to be here, I said. She smiled. Yes. So I danced. Badly. By the time I finally made it back to my hotel, Gregory the chicken looked relieved. You would not believe my day, I told him. He blinked slowly, as if to say, I would. On my last day, I went back to the airport. I showed my ticket to the agent. She looked at it, confused. This is not this country, she said. What? I laughed nervously. She pointed at the ticket. You book wrong place. I stared at it. I had not booked nowhere. I had booked something else entirely. So, where am I? I asked. She smiled. Yes. And that's the story of how I tried to find myself and got completely lost in translation. I still don't know where I went. But Gregory? Gregory knows.